Congresswoman from the Make America Great Again movement, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has been actively opposing aid to Ukraine and spreading blatant Russian propaganda about Ukraine, came under heavy criticism from Donald Trump, who called her crazy. Donald, I just want to say we told you about this back when she was talking about biolabs and the alleged killing of Russian priests in Ukraine. But what's interesting is that Donald Trump even withdrew his support for Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it's all because she turned out to be one of those Republicans who supported the release of all the Epstein files. Trump even called Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor to the Republican Party. Moreover, Congresswoman and Make America Great Again movement representative Greene accused Trump of covering up the Epstein case. Greene herself has now appeared on cable news network, which is surprising, and stated that she has clashed with Trump on other issues as well. But the most interesting thing is that Marjorie Taylor Greene suddenly apologized for spreading the toxic politics of the Make America Great Again movement. This is her quote, which she herself admitted led to threats to the lives of many people in the United States and beyond America. After all, now, as Greene says, she herself is under threat of violence from those very Make America Great Again supporters. So, let's figure out this high-profile scandal. I'm Alexei Peachy. Let's analyze this topic together. But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, like the video, write any detailed comment below, and subscribe to my Telegram channel, Peachy News. The link is in the description of this video. There, we publish breaking news as soon as it comes in. If you want to support the work of this YouTube channel, you can do so financially with any donation or a paid sponsorship subscription. The link is in the description of this video and it says support Alexei Peachy's channel. Choose any format that's convenient for you. I will be grateful for any support you give. So do you remember that notorious Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene? Let me remind you of some of her most famous episodes. In March 2022, just a month after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine began, Marjorie Taylor Greene claimed that Ukraine allegedly provoked Russian aggression. Supposedly, Ukraine had been building alliances, secret alliances with Western parties for years, quote, poking the bear. As the Congresswoman herself stated, supposedly the victim is to blame for provoking the aggressor. In addition, Greene popularized in the United States the Russian view that the 2014 Revolution of Dignity in Ukraine was supposedly a coup d'etat. In March 2022, she claimed the United States State Department overthrew Yanukovych's government and has allegedly controlled Ukraine ever since. And it was Marjorie Taylor Greene who is known for the famous phrase, "not a single penny to Ukraine." In November 2022, Greene stated that if the Republicans win the midterm elections in the United States, Ukraine, quote, will not receive a single penny of aid. In April 2023, Marjorie Taylor Greene demanded that Joe Biden provide aid to Ukraine. In fall 2023, she called on people not to vote for, quote, billions of new blood money, accusing the White House of allegedly waging a proxy war with Russia on Ukrainian territory. In February 2024, British Foreign Secretary James Cameron called on the United States to help Ukraine. In response, Marjorie Taylor Greene publicly stated that Cameron, quote, can kiss my ass. And in general, throughout the full-scale war of Russia against Ukraine, Greene kept repeating all this nonsense voiced by the Kremlin. Well, for example, Marjorie Taylor Greene seriously claimed that there really are biolabs in Ukraine where, attention, they were developing genetic weapons that would only work against Russians. Exclusively, it would bypass others, but it would definitely kill a pure Russian. And also, according to her, Russia did the right thing by attacking Ukraine because in Ukraine, almost literally, Satanists are fighting against Christianity. In general, as you can see, a very controversial person. And now this very same Marjorie Taylor Greene is complaining that she's scared because now her life is in danger after Trump called her a traitor. Today, this kind of news comes out. Congresswoman Make America Great Again movement representative Marjorie Taylor Greene accused United States President Donald Trump of covering up the Epstein case. Her quote, "Because of the Epstein case, I am being attacked by President Trump. It really makes you wonder what's in those files and who or which country is putting such pressure on him. I forgive him and will pray that he returns to his original promises about Make America Great Again." A little later, Marjorie Taylor Greene posts on the social network X, Quote, I never thought that the fight to make the File 5 public of Epstein, the protection of women who became victims of rape, and the fight to expose the network of the rich and powerful elite would lead to such a result. But here we are. The toxic political industrial complex thrives, tearing us apart, but it never brings anything good to the American people whom I love. It urges us to hate each other, raises funds to justify that hatred, and turns Americans against each other, leading to violence and bringing us closer to civil war. All of this is completely wrong. But how is Marjorie Taylor Greene being dishonest? Right after the Trump scandal, she suddenly appears on cable news network. And there she starts complaining about threats to her life. And then she apologized for her own toxicity, which leads to hatred among Americans. Another quote from Marjorie Taylor Greene, the most offensive thing Trump said, and it's an absolute lie, is that he called me a traitor. That's completely wrong, and it's exactly those kinds of words that can turn people against me and put my life in danger, complains Marjorie Taylor Greene. To this, cable news network host Dan Bash rightly points out, we've seen similar attacks or criticism from President Trump directed at other people. This isn't new, and with all due respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you. To which Greene responds, I think that's a fair criticism, and I'd like to humbly apologize for participating in this toxic politics. This is very bad for our country. I've thought about it a lot. In the end, Marjorie Taylor Greene said that she really hopes she will reconcile with Donald Trump, that everything will be fine because she's scared. Marjorie Taylor Greene says she's scared because people have started threatening her. Turns out, if you're toxic in the Make America Great Again movement, you just throw dirt at everyone. This can lead to the fact that, yes, you start being harassed by equally unhinged supporters of any other movement who are fanatics. But what happened? The thing is, before this, Donald Trump himself went really hard on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump announced that he is officially withdrawing his support from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was previously his ally and ardent supporter. Next is a quote from Trump, I withdraw my support and endorsement. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who plans to run for re-election to the House of Representatives in 2026, has gone to the extreme left. She told many people that she's upset that I no longer answer her phone calls. But with 219 members of Congress, 53 United States senators, 24 cabinet members, nearly 200 countries, and a generally normal life, I can't answer the calls of an enraged, crazy woman every day. If the right candidate is running in Georgia, they will have my full and unconditional support. That's right. Yesterday you were prepared to say anything to fit Trump's rhetoric, throwing mud at everyone, lying about Ukraine, and justifying Russian aggression. Then you support releasing the files to the public, and today your idol from yesterday, Donald Trump, disowns you and calls you an angry, crazy woman. But I think Marjorie Taylor Greene's political career is slowly coming to an end. I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. That's all for now. Take care. Goodbye. To be continued.